Hello, Facebook ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook ads breaking news podcast. Hello, guys. Another podcast. So let's start immediately with all the things that we have to discuss. I keep getting more and more questions, and I keep getting more and more articles and all of that from people. So we have a lot of things to discuss. First of all, I would like to start this podcast by saying that I do have the feeling that most of my ad accounts are recovering. So, what am I doing right now? Based on the fact that my biggest ad accounts haven't been impacted, to be honest with you, from these bad results on the start of March. Based on what I see now, my other ad accounts are recovering, and because some of my ad accounts are not, I'm starting to relaunch campaigns. For example, let's say that I have 10 campaigns, I take the worst or the two worst and I'm relaunching them. Based on that, I would like to tell you that in the ad accounts that I'm having several campaigns, I'm just taking one or two that they have been performing really well. And sadly, I'm going to start relaunches in order for me to start, the ad accounts, most of their accounts, not most of the campaigns all over again. So the principle is this: since I'm watching that the bad period it's actually going to stop, and I'm seeing a lot of other accounts recovering, what am I going to do with the others? Am I just going to leave them there and expect them to recover? No, I'm going to cut the campaigns, relaunch them because they have been working in the past, and I'm going to do that, and I'm doing it already in some other accounts. And of course, it's too early to tell you the results because the first days are always good, but we will see if this is going to revive them. So that's what I'm going to do with my other accounts, but I think that the bad days are now in the past and we're going to go better. If you have a lot of campaigns like I do in some other accounts, well, to be honest with you, in most of the accounts with a lot of campaigns, they have already recovered. But I'm talking about other accounts with 2 or 3 campaigns. In these other accounts, if they haven't recovered yet, I'm going to relaunch the campaigns, optimizing all over again. So a little bit about Facebook and how this platform is actually working. There are some people that they still don't get it on how Facebook is working, and that it's a volume platform. I would like to share with you one story, something that happened, and the fun part is that it happened with one of the case studies that I have posted on my YouTube channel. So you have seen the case study of 1 year, how I scaled a brand from, I don't remember the exact numbers, but let's say from 30, 40, 50K per month to 500K per month in the course of 1 year. The good part for this is that I have a video for 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. And the fun part is that you can see the whole journey and what I was predicting that it was going to happen and all of that. Even on my last video, I believe, which was aired on Wednesday, I have videos shooted on January or February, I believe in the middle of February. And now that it's going to go live, I was predicting things that are going to happen in the ad account, and I put some small videos with print screens of what happened to these ad accounts later. So it was really funny to see that in 80% of the cases I was correct about the outcome. This is what happened also with the 1 year case study and everything that happened in this year, which I was very happy because it was very nice. I took you in a journey of 1 year of me doing ads in another account that I believe that I could scale, and it worked really well. But people are greedy, okay? So the company after that, because they have expanded a lot, they gave me also other countries, and what happened is that they hired more people, and they hired also one old, years old, let's say, or maybe outdated, I will say, CMO, Chief of Finance, which is actually, these people, when you talk to them, they do care about numbers, but they don't understand that there's a whole process and a journey behind that. For example, they might come and tell you that we're going to shut off Facebook ads because it's not giving us the ROAS that we want. But they are not calculating, for example, that for the whole previous year, this company was getting all of their volume and ROAS and all of that from a platform like Meta and Instagram and Facebook. So the discussion was something like this. So we do have 1% returning customers. So why do we need Facebook as a platform if we are only getting 1%? So because you can say a lot of times advertisers, they do say that, hey, with Facebook you're getting a volume of people that they might not convert only once. So you should not calculate only the ROAS that you're getting from their first purchase, but you should calculate also their lifetime value. And this is why a lot of companies, they have tools like Triple Whale and other tools that they're showing them the lifetime value of their customers. So here we have an objection from a CMO who doesn't understand the growth of social media marketing so much and what it gives. So it comes by watching the number, and he says, why do we need Meta, for example, if we're getting only 1%? So basically they are buying once and then we're not getting more value out of them. So my point of view to this is that, so if you're a freelancer, for example, this is a very good lesson for you. The biggest thing here is that when you're a freelancer and you're working with someone, you should always reply to what they tell you, because if someone is telling you something and you don't reply to them, but don't reply with a bullshit answer, reply with the truth. Okay, if you don't, then you are going to see that this person is going to believe that what he told you, it's actually the truth. So if I wasn't going to reply to that and I would just let it slide because I'm polite, because I don't want to lose my job or whatever, then this person would think that, yeah, I told him that, he didn't reply, so what I said is correct. So this is also another thing that I have seen with owners of e-commerce. I couldn't believe initially when I was starting that a lot of e-commerce store owners are lying. And I couldn't believe it from the perspective of, I'm going to go into your ad account, I'm going to see if you are lying or not. So why are you telling me that you have 6 ROAS, for example, and then I go to the ad account and I see that you have 3 ROAS? My explanation to that is very simple. I do believe that these people, they ended up saying to themselves, so that they can feel better about it, that okay, in August I had 6 ROAS, blah blah. Then they say to their friends, blah blah, and they keep saying the same lie again and again. And at the end of the day, they do believe it. It's not like they want to lie to me. They just say a lie that they have said to themselves months ago, and they just believe it. Because they said it so many times that now it became from a lie a truth. So this is what is happening also in discussions. If you don't address all of these things and you let them pass by, or you don't have the answers because you're not technically informed or well prepared for a call, then the person on the other side is going to believe that what they told you is right. So my answer to him was this. So you are telling me that you are having 1% repeated customers. Perfect. So when you are doing email marketing and SMS marketing, out of the 100 orders, 99 orders are actually new customers. And he says, yeah, they're actually new customers. And then I told him, and where did those emails and SMS came from? Okay, so in that way, by just leading him to the truth, you're just explaining to him that the email and SMS that you see and you like so much, it's coming from Meta or Google, it doesn't matter. And if you shut down these platforms, you will eventually see all of these numbers on SMS and email marketing just keep going down and down and down, because there's not going to be any new fresh people coming inside, based on the fact that you told me also that you have only 1% returning customer. So he told me, yeah, you're right, I can see your point over here, and we just continue discussing about other things. But what I want to teach you here, and this is a lesson for the freelancers mostly, but also for the business owners, to not lie to themselves and not think that SMS and email, for example, is better than Facebook because they don't spend a lot of money to it. Yeah, but it's being fueled by Facebook. So that's what I find as an interesting story with one of my discussions the previous week with a CMO that is not so involved with social media, and it has to, I will not say get trained, but get used to the whole situation with social media, because social media is about growing and having volume and all of that, and it's not about most of the times it's not about ROAS and stuff, especially when you're growing. It's not so much about the ROAS, but it's mostly about the growth. Okay, when you have smaller budgets and you just care about spending just an amount of money that you have seen that you're profitable, really profitable, that's good, you can do it. That's all with my story. I hope that some people are going to find it useful information. I do find it interesting. The good part with me at this point of my life is that I do have these answers ready to my head. So I do know exactly how to reply to any situation, to any meeting. It doesn't mean that always the people that they are next to me, they are going to, like my answer, or they are going to accept it. But at least I know that I'm telling my truth at that point, and what I really believe. Now, we're not going to go into discussions about not being afraid of getting fired and all of that, because I do believe that a lot of people, if they don't have so many clients as me or getting paid as well as me, they might not have the luxury of doing that. So I'm not going to pretend that I'm smart, because I have also been into that position. Not so much, because after selling the e-commerce, I didn't have the need for money, I guess, and I was doing it risk-free. But still, if we think of it, you are having the best client management and the best everything and the best contracts when you are not afraid if you are going to get fired, and you just speak your mind, instead of just being a yes man that does everything that the owner wants without questioning it. Or telling the technical truth about it. Next one, we have Isabel here. She's saying, I'm going to pull a Reddit post lol, but are your ads doing well now? I feel like I've had 2 good days since the problem, and other than that, it is pretty unstable. I said already what I believe about the ads right now. The truth is that the ad accounts are recovering, because we do have some good days and some really bad days. For example, I don't remember if it was this Monday or the previous Monday, but anyway, we had, I think either this Monday or the previous Monday, we had the worst day of the whole year, in my opinion, across accounts, across my students, my friends, and all of that. So yeah, we have some really, really bad days, but also some good days. And of course, we have people like this comment over here that says, well, it's our turn. Facebook has been great for us since January 1st, but yesterday it all crashes down. Holy crap, we've been super lucky. The last 2.5 months have been pretty good and profitable. Yesterday, all of a sudden, the sales just totally crap out. I've been spending 1,000 a day in order to generate about 2,500 to 3,000 a day in sale on our store. Yesterday, spent 1,000 and it brought back 1,100 in sales. Today, we have 3 sales in the total of about 698 spent, around 400. So far I've posted everything. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on with you is the actual reply here. I would like to give this nice meme that I found. I put also on the thumb. It says Facebook ROAS on one day and Facebook ROAS on the next day. It's actually one of the most representing memes that I have seen about the ROAS situation. You might have a very good day and then a bad day. This is why we're working with the average of 7 days. Now, it's good that people like this person, which is having very good numbers, they are closing their ads because it's going to make our life easier. But this person that hasn't been impacted for all of these days, and just for one day he's closing he's closing the ads, it's a person that is never going to scale, okay? And it doesn't understand how Facebook is actually working. You can see that I'm upvoting these posts because I want them to close their ads. Same on me, but what can you do for people that even without watching a full 24-hour of actual results, a lot of times ad accounts are recovering at the end of the day, for example. Or for example, you cannot criticize Mondays with Sundays. Sundays are picking up by the end of the day. Mondays are more stable days in terms of if it is a good day across the day. On Sundays you will see that you have a very slow start and then it's recovering in the evening, most probably because this is when everybody is logging to their social media. So all of it, if you think of it, it's a very bad move because you're having such good results for so long period, and for one day you're just panicking and you're closing your ads. Well, you will never scale and you are always going to be we don't know, for example, in some other accounts with this behavior you're not going to even recover after that. So to Isabel, I must say that my ad accounts are recovering. If your ads are not recovering, I would start replacing my worst campaigns by relaunching them, because I do feel that this is a period right now that I'm seeing consistently ad accounts becoming better and better. So I think that we are getting away from the bad period. And before we go to your other questions, I would like to address this Upwork, it's not Upwork, I believe it was on Reddit. Saying this: hiring Facebook ads expert. And the reason that I'm doing this is because if any of you has this kind of mentality, I would like to address it and explain to you why it's wrong. Hiring Facebook ads expert, looking for market proven Facebook ads media buyers for e-commerce products who can prove their skills and generate results. Result simple. Our current ROAS is 3. With you on board, we expect more, obviously. Confidence that you will be able to beat 3x or money back. We will use an escrow and a contract enforced in the following terms. You win, you get paid. Simple, no BS. If you think you fit into these criteria, shoot me a PM. Let me tell you why this is wrong. For several reasons. First of all, somebody who is a proven Facebook ads media buyer is not going to come for this job. Why? Because we know what we bring to the table, and we're not going to go into contracts that, well, we do, but not with strangers. For example, with people that I know, if an owner of another business, which I had transactions and he paid me, he tells me, hey, I have this project. You're not going to get paid. If we do well, I will do it, because he has already paid me on other projects. I know that he's going to pay me. Even the escrow and these things that it's going to, you still don't know this person. Do you know what you don't know? If he's crazy or not, okay, and if he's asking too much or not. For example, what is the 3 ROAS consistently for 5 months, or you had 3 ROAS for 1 day or 2 weeks, okay? Because I'm getting 3 ROAS for 2 weeks, and then I'm posting this because I want 4 and 5 ROAS. Also, is it possible to go on 3 ROAS? The fact that you're hiring someone, guys, I'm so happy that I can be honest and say all of these things. When you hire someone, it doesn't mean that you hire him to take your 3 ROAS to 4 ROAS, okay? You have to understand that on Facebook, we are not influencing 100% of the results. We're influencing just a small percentage. And maybe some people don't say it because they want to get clients that they believe that they will get them from 3 to 5 ROAS. But this is not the truth. you are hiring people like me and experts in order to scale you. This is where our total value is, okay? And not doing stupid things like our friend here who has closed their ads after 2.5 months. This would have never happened if I was there. I wasn't going to allow him to do that, and I was going to control it and relax him and tell him to stop. Now that he's alone, he's doing this mistake which is going to cost him. So the reason that somebody is hiring us is not to improve their ROAS necessarily, and sometimes it's happening, but most of the times we're going to get kind of the same ROAS, but we're going to do better management and better scaling. So the idea that I'm getting on my own 3 ROAS, I'm going to hire Konstantinos to get 4 ROAS, is completely wrong. Most of the times it doesn't work like this. Most of the times what is happening is that you're hiring Konstantinos, first of all, because it's super annoying with Facebook and all the ups and downs to actually manage the ads. And the second thing is that you want him to scale. This is where the actual value comes. Now, in this specific case, in the way that I see that it's written, let me tell you what I believe that it's going to happen. The people that are going to apply for this job are the people that are going to go there to get print screens of the 3 ROAS, if it's true, and the people that have nothing to lose. For example, my time doesn't have the same value as someone who is managing right now one account. Somebody who is managing right now one account, they can come and they say, okay, I will try it, okay? And if it works, it works. If not, it doesn't. So you're going to attract not market-proven Facebook ads media buyers, but only senior ones and beginners that they're going to try to learn Facebook ads with your money. So this is number one. Number two, we address the thing about the 3 ROAS and all of that and why you hire an expert, basically. And the other thing is that this idea that if you don't get the results, you don't get paid, I think it's a little bit stupid, because you're going to get paid for your workload. It's okay to fire someone, I get it, because you don't think that they're getting the results. But you have to pay for the workload that they have done. You're not partners. If you're partners in this business and somebody comes and tells you that, hey, let's be partners and you will do the ads for free and stuff, it's completely different. But you are hiring someone. There's no such thing as, okay, I'm going to hire you. If you don't have any results, you're not going to get paid. And even when it does, it is not happening between strangers. This is what I'm trying to explain. I have deals right now, I'm in some projects that I'm not getting paid, but I do believe in the owners. I know them, I know that they have successful businesses. I don't care. I get paid $500, for example, okay, just for the ads. But I'm spending right now $100K in one ad account. It's a new ad account. I do believe that in 1 month from now, I'm going to start getting paid with percentages and stuff. But for the first 2 months, it wasn't profitable because we were training the pixel. Now it is. So the next month, we're going to have a new deal. But all of this period, I got paid $1,500, for example, for spending 80 to 100K per month. So you do understand that you can take this leap of faith, but only with people that you trust and you know. Who is this person that is asking from people to work for him for free? And what kind of relationship is it being built here? One relationship which is going to be toxic, and with the first opportunity that you're not going to have good results because it's a bad period on Facebook, for example, you're going to get fired. So I just liked also to address this thing here. It is more about freelancers, I guess also. I guess the podcast today has more freelancer information. But now we're going to go to your questions and we're going to answer those. I have a question from Onur over here, which was it was actually very interesting. I watched all of your videos and they helped me a lot along the way. If you have watched all of my videos and the podcasts on Onur, I do remember your name from previous, but if you have done that, thank you very much. Thanks. Konstantinos, I noticed that a high portion of your clients sells high-ticket products. I'm not sure how appropriate it is to ask this, but what are their profit margins? I run my own e-commerce company selling a product for 60 with a cost to me of 14 including shipping and my profit margin of around 10%. I sold about 5,000 units for the last 4 months, but I'm really struggling with pricing and currently thinking about transitioning to high ticket e-commerce. Your answer and personal opinion on this is much appreciated. This is not related to ads, but I'm willing to make this discussion and I would like to explain some things about it. So let's go. I tell him, I do have a lot of clients also with lower ticket items, but to be honest, one of the case studies, for example, that you see for United States, the 1 year ones, it's with 2 ROAS. This is a lower ticket item, but it's always better to work with digital products and because they have 1 ROAS or 1.2, 1.1 ROAS break even, because you can scale them more. And you can spend more money. And the second thing is the high average order value items, the high ticket items or high average order value, they are better to work with because even with high cost per purchases, you are getting good return on ad spend. I'm not going to say that it's easier because they need completely different handling in terms of how many days you leave them. If you're taking decisions faster or you're more flexible, you're spending more money demand per sale. So you have to have higher budgets in order to get where you want to go. But you know, it's a different handling, but I'm not going to say that it's better or easier. I'm going to say that it's more convenient, let's say. I do have clients also with lower ticket items. To be honest, it is better to work with higher AOV products for the sake of ROAS. I don't get clients with less than 25 to 30% profit margin. That's one big truth. It has to be an item that sells for more than 1K in order to get clients with 20% profit margins, for example. With my math, here I do my math in order to calculate his break-even ROAS, which is 1.31. I don't know from where you calculate the 10% profit margin. If you have 10% profit margin, your break-even ROAS would be 10, blah, blah. So in all of that, I do explain to him about the 10% and then he replies, Konstantinos, I mean how much money I make when I say profit margin. Your math is correct. For example, if I sell 70K a month, I make 7K personally, which is 10%. In other words, I'm so close to break even that I become a bit hesitant when started. I'm not sure how appropriate it is to ask this, but my question is, what are the average profits for business owners? Guys, let's discuss a little bit about this. And I'm going to discuss it from my perspective. I don't like to share numbers of how much I make, but for this case, we will have to discuss it a little bit. So, let's say, for example, that someone who is selling a service, like me, because I want you e-commerce owners to see it from another perspective. So someone who is selling a service like me, they make 100% because we're actually selling ourselves. It's a service. It's not like we're selling a product. So the profit margin that we get, it's most of the times, if you are alone, 100%. But if you have some expenses and stuff, let's say that it's 80%. So if I make, let's say 100K per month, I will keep the 80K. This sounds really intimidating for people that are doing e-commerce, but I would like to twist it a little bit to tell you the difference between that. So in your case, in order to make 80K, you need to make a revenue of 800K. Let's talk about monthly numbers over here. So if I make 100K per month, I keep the 80K. If you have a revenue of 800K, you keep the 80K. On that note, I must tell you though that with our case as a freelancer, it's very difficult to scale past that point because you have to hire employees, you have to go in another model, which I don't like to follow and stuff. So most of the times I'm capping, let's say, to 100K per month. The thing here is this: if you think of it, an e-commerce store owner has better chances of scaling. Why? Because if you are doing 5 million per month, which are not crazy numbers, okay? I have seen them in e-commerce stores and stuff. Okay, you keep 10%, but you're making 500K. So in that case, my model is better for the short term. You're making more money as someone who is selling a service, and you're making X amount of money faster and stuff, but you cannot scale. But with e-commerce, you can scale as much as you want. So it's up to your ambitions and to how you see life and how aggressive you are. If you are more conservative, for example, and you don't like e-commerce, you can go to selling a service and then you can make money like this. But if you don't and you want to scale as much because there is no limit to what you want to achieve, you cannot do that with my model. Now, when it comes, so why I'm telling all this, because I want you to see the bigger picture, which is that e-commerce stores, maybe they have 10%, but they can scale to much higher numbers, and then you're making a lot of money. But you cannot compare it with someone who is selling a service, for example, and it's doing X amount of revenue, because on that case, this person is going to make much more money from you. So the concept and the idea here is this: am I having a product which can actually scale to very big numbers in order to make a lot of money? Because if I don't, or if I don't believe it, or if I cannot do it, then to me, I don't see how e-com worth it. Okay. On the other hand, not everybody can sell a service. Some people like more e-com and stuff. I don't like e-commerce store because, as I said, e-commerce stores, having an e-commerce store of my own, because I had it, and as I like to say, it's more about solving problems and putting out fires every day instead of being happy. Of course, with Facebook ads, you have different anxiety levels and stuff, but it's completely different. I do believe that the profit margins is between 10 and 20% in some cases. I don't believe that 10% is very bad, but I do believe that the biggest gains are coming when you're scaling a lot an e-commerce store instead of being on the numbers that you actually described. That's a perspective that I want to give you, and it's up to you what you want to do more or how you want to go. Because, for example, it's also completely different of doing a revenue of 5 million, which is also going to help you have better margins. Because you're going to go even to your credit card, to Stripe, and you're going to say, I'm having X amount of transactions, give me a better fee. You are going to go to your distributors, you're going to go to your shipping company, you're going to go to the production, and you're going to make it cheaper and to all of that. So you are unlocking tiers after e-commerce, on e-commerce after some point, as more as you scale up, which I have seen with people, that you cannot unlock in other cases. And I know that you never mentioned that you want to sell service based and stuff, but I had to give you this example in order for you to understand that you are sitting in a you are sitting in a job right now. You sit in a job right now that it can scale really hard. Not really hard, it can scale a lot and you can make a lot of money, but on the other hand, on the smaller numbers, it is disappointing. Okay, so that's my point of view. The higher ticket items that you want to sell, they are actually more convenient, as I said, to handle, but it doesn't mean that they have better profit margins. but you have better chances of succeeding on a Facebook ad. For example, if you have something that needs average cost per purchase of 100, you have better chances instead of having something that needs average cost per purchase of 10 or 20. It's much more difficult, and maybe it needs much more effort to train your pixel and all of that to get to that point. Let's go to the next question. Another question: how much money do you think is possible to make a profitable ads in nowadays market, especially in developed areas? 3,000 USD is enough. Thanks. There's, as we said 5 seconds earlier, there's not a single concept that it can actually support all of that, because if you think of it, it's not the same to sell a t-shirt for 25 and a refrigerator unit for 1,500. So on that note, I must tell you that it really depends on your product. If you are asking me now what is an ideal budget to test, 3,000 USD per month, it is an ideal budget to do your initial tests. Do you do code? I think means for someone to pay on delivery. What is the C? Currency or delivery? I don't know. So do you do code in Middle East or they pay from the website? Basically, it means that someone can pay when they are going to receive the item. He's talking about a case study about another account in Middle East that I showed the other day in one of my videos. The truth is that this site didn't have code, but I must say that this is one very big issue for all the Middle East e-commerce stores. India, Pakistan also have these problems. The reason for that is this. The reason is very simple, because in order for you to know what is the actual ROAS that you need to see, you need to calculate how many of these code orders are going to be returned back, because it's costing you and it's not actual ROAS, because on the side they're going to do the order, you're going to see the ROAS, but it doesn't mean that this is your actual ROAS, because you're going to have some returns from people not getting the products. The thing is that in order for you to be able to operate in this, if you have code, pay on delivery systems, if you do that, then it means that you need to calculate in a course of 6 months how many of these orders are going to get back to you as an average, and then just subtract these orders from the ROAS in order for you to have a new target ROAS, so that you will know that you're profitable, not with the ROAS that you are seeing, but you need to see another ROAS that now you know that as soon as you see this ROAS, even if you have the normal amount of orders coming back to you, then you're going to be fine and you're still going to be profitable. I know that it's a big issue. I know that it's difficult for these companies not to have pay on delivery, but I have done several times ads with this way, and we have found ways of calculating what is good and what is bad, and we were able to overcome it. Hello Konstantinos, thank you for all your golden knowledge. Thank you for watching. I have a daily ad spend of 400 euros with 3 campaigns running. Okay, 3 campaigns, 400, and I have run into some cash flow issues, so I had to lower my daily ad spend. I didn't want to break the number one rule, never touch something which works, but you already did, because this is touching. So I set up a spending limit in the payment section. Now my ads spend my budget in half of the day, which isn't normal. Do you have a better solution? Thank you very much. Well, the truth is that you did break the first rule and the second and the third, not to touch something that is working. But I do understand that life is life and things are happening, to the businesses. So the suggestion here would be to check what kind of the best case over here. It would be, okay, I'm checking what kind of budget I can have. And either I'm keeping my best campaign with this budget, let's say that it's 100. So either I'm keeping my best campaign with 100, nothing to do, sadly, or I am lowering the budget to all of my campaigns to something smaller. If they are CBOs, which are, this is going to be difficult to happen, so I would go more to the option of keeping just one campaign with a budget that I can spend daily without putting any limits. Or if I had Advantage Plus campaigns, because they actually have better behavior to limiting budgets, I would go and I would lower the budgets there, and I would keep them all by lowering the budgets to my total budget that I can have. This is the end of the first part of the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. If you don't want to miss the second half of the podcast, where I'm answering all the remaining questions of the week, visit my Patreon page following the link on the description. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.